That don't look right. Okay. Might want to go up here. I was kind of on the floor there because I was thinking I was going to do. Okay, this is not how I expected this to go. Okay. Um. Okay. Yep. Different than how I expected this to go. Hello, everybody. Godzilla Louise here, and today we got a Q&A. Very unexpected. I did not. For some reason, I did not expect that to be that high up. So, if anyone has questions about my fan series, now is the time to ask. I've decided to be a bit more transparent about production. I'm probably not going to do this often, only once every few months. I'm not going to answer everything. I'm not going to answer I might answer basic. How do I want to do this? I might answer some basic notes about certain characters depending on the show. Admittedly, that's probably not the best idea because you could just go to my DeviantArt and that'd be. But because my DeviantArt is admittedly a place where I've done a lot of more than I should. This is really more about the production. So, revealing stuff before this, spoilery stuff, but with my DeviantArt. So, but then again, a lot of it is scrapped stuff from old projects that won't be made anymore. So we'll see. So if anyone wants to ask questions, you can ask questions. I don't expect this. I'm only going to go for few hours. Probably won't do much because I don't expect this to go anywhere. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to do a whole stream on this. Oh, that's also not plugged in all the way. Come on. There we go. Oh, connection. Come on. There we go. Maybe. See if that's going to help. There we go. It's staying plugged in. Okay. Maybe if I do something like that. Or I just put my phone there to hold it in place. That's dumb, but I don't know what else to do there. Okay, that looks pretty good. Okay. Yep. Okay. I think that's the volume, not the connection. Okay. Literally no one on. Okay. So, first question I get. Should I talk into the void? No. This is going to be interesting because I don't really know what to do here. So, yeah, I don't talk to no one. I'm going to keep going for a few hours. See if anyone shows up. I hope someone shows up in that time frame. Hopefully. Thing is, there are people who are on their projects. I will admit that. I may not be fully. So, that is a question I've had a lot of people ask. This is something I should say. Whenever I've talked about these projects and whenever I get asked about these projects, not directly, but in regards to those casting calls, I do. While it isn't a direct, a lot of people, it isn't a paid project. It is not a paid project. It is very much and because I am not in control of my money. I cannot be. The legal system where I live is just not a fan of me. They don't want me to be in control of my money because they don't think I would be able to do anything. They don't think I'd be able to control myself and do what I need to be able to pay. You spend it correctly, basically. So instead, I have to not pay people on the project and just kind of hope people go on it. That's what I have to do. So if it's unfortunate and I don't really know how else to say it, I wish I could pay people. I can't on my project, but either way. So anyway, now let's get to the actual projects themselves. What are they? Well, Ultraman MLV is. So let's go for the timeline first. What's the timeline? Kejadian is the first one to take place. Then it's Tachyon. Then it's MLV. Simple as that. Now, as far as how much over the gap, MLV and Tachyon are right on top of each other. So like Tachyon, then MLV, right back to back, effectively. Just like a 2-year gap. Kejadian, on the other hand, is like, I'd have to think. It's like, I think it's 1,000. I haven't really put too much thought into it. We're talking like at least a 5,000 year plus gap before Tachyon. So they're all in the same universe. And that universe being this shared universe's equivalent. I should say shared multiverse is equivalent of the Showa Ultraman universe. I would actually probably say more like 6,000 either way. I'm not going to go into all kinds of depth here, but either way. Now, so let's see. Now, for anyone who doesn't know, this is what this stream is for. Anyone who wants to know more about my projects who doesn't already know. Now, Kejadian is... I'm going to go with Kejadian first, considering there's no one on. And Kejadian is just a medieval project. Just medieval fantasy, putting Ultraman in medieval fantasy. More to it than that. There's a lot of magic. I probably could have saved that for an actual question, but there's magic. And because I am a fan of like siege weaponry and like weaponry in general from like that time period, I am a fan. I am going to keep like some weaponry stuff. So like weapons, siege weapons, like medieval combat. That's going to be in it. Obviously, if you want to ask questions on this stream, you might want to go back and like scroll through a little bit to see where certain questions are answered and what the basics are of certain series. Now, I'm just gonna wait and see when the first question comes through, but do I want to? So I'm gonna move on to Tachyon. Tachyon it's a very complicated series that I very much described on its respective casting call that's still ongoing. But I'm still going to try to give some context for it if I can. Honestly, I don't know. Tachyon is a very unique Ultra. He is without some of the abilities. I won't say what ones, but he is without a lot of the abilities that define most Ultras. He is much more like grounded in terms of his capabilities. I wouldn't say he's I wouldn't say he's realistic. He's a speedster. So obviously he's like he's a giant that's moving at like goddamn Mach 50 at the least sometimes, which is ridiculous. Maybe not that fast. I don't know how. But he can move a lot faster. He can definitely move a lot faster. I do have him at like, that is nothing for him. He doesn't do it. But I'm not going to answer that unless someone asks it. But I don't think, at least. I might forget that statement. I'm going to try not to. So, but the other thing with Tachyon is he's not, the whole basis of his show isn't just Tachyon as an Ultra or Tachyon as a human host or the interplay between those. It's the interplay between him, not like Ellis Walterson's, which is the human host of Tachyon, or not human host, human form, and Tachyon. So the interplay between being Ellis Walterson's and a giant of light, on top of being Night Blitz, which is basically a Batman analog. So very unique character type, and admittedly, I did choose to not go for like an absolute Batman type portrayal with like having him be something other than a super company CEO. He is still a CEO of a big company with like Ellis as Ellis, but I'm just answering a lot of things, honestly. Now, I'm going to leave that one where it is. It does have a supporting, all these shows have a very broad or a very wide supporting cast, with the exception of Tachyon. At least currently, I've considered. Nah, I don't think I will. I think Tachyon is good where it is. I don't think Tachyon needs a bigger supporting cast because I don't know. I'm just talking to myself there. Now, anyway, I'm just really talking to myself this whole stream. Either way, I'm hoping someone shows up and just asks a question. That's the whole point of the stream. But yeah. Okay. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Now, MLD is probably my favorite, despite not having as many of the social type underlays of the R2, because it still has them. It just doesn't use them to the same extent. Like, obviously, with Tachyon having a Batman analog, you're going to deal with that. Kejadian might be a bit less obvious, so I won't go into that unless someone asks. And even though it is, obviously, as I said, medieval fantasy, MLD is just a really fun one because Tachyon is less of a traditional Batman type show because Batman always has gadgets, right? Well, he doesn't always have the most high-tech they focus more on his detective. He's more of a noir type hero. So what I think would be interesting is high-tech Batman. So that's what Night Blitz is, effectively. He's not Batman, but he's not Batman either. So, and he's also it's a convoluted thing. So, when you look at comparing that to MLV, given they're only 2 years apart. Well, Kate, where's the cat? Okay, here. Cat, I'm doing a live stream. Can you stop? Okay. So MLV is a very different type of show from most Ultra series, even though it also kind of isn't. I'm just giving the rundown so far of what my shows are about. MLV is a very unique one. Oh, okay. MLV is very unique. So because it's kind of like a Star Trek meets Ultraman, leaning on Ultraman a little bit. So it's Ultraman, but Ultraman is defending not just Earth, he's defending an entire galaxy, so he needs a team of multiple Ultras. So it's like, that's what this show is. Any questions? Okay. Yeah. Maybe I should go upstairs and let her know I'm going to be doing a stream for a few hours. Something, I don't know. I don't even have anyone watching me right now, so this was a flippin' fruits endeavor. Okay. I don't want to reveal any character dynamics, I don't think. I might reveal some characters for like some of the shows, but like, do I want to do that? I don't want to reveal character relations. Unless I'm asked. No. Not until I'm asked. But maybe the characters, like the basic character. We'll start with Kejadian. Let me see if I got, because that's like the only one I have like basic who they are. I might be able to do that. Let me see if I got Kejadian. I honestly, because Kejadian has some. I did it because Kejadian is one I did have to really revamp it fairly recently. So, don't know. She just got on something on it. Mom, doing a live stream. Just to let you know. Okay. Characters. Okay, just let her know. No one's watching it, but still, it's supposed to be a hangout stream and no one's flipping watching it. Anyway, wait, that's the one. Okay. Okay. Do I even have? Okay, where's the one I know over here? This maybe? Oh, it's this. Okay. This might actually have a thing. I don't know. Okay, there we go. So, okay. Do I want to start with main characters, or do I want to start with antagonists? Do I want to? I'm not going to specify anything like to. Because like I don't want to reveal any like plot twists type stuff. I do want to keep this to avoid spoilers, like do with this stream, because obviously this stream is coming out well before any of these shows do that I'm making. So, and I haven't even got a single question yet because no one's watching this thing, so I don't know. I don't know why I'm even doing the live stream. This is just a dumb idea. I'll ring over it. Okay. But yeah. So let's go with Kejadian first of the show. So I might, you know what? How do I want to do this? No one's even watching this dumb thing. Do I just end stream? If no one joins by like 45 minutes, I'm gonna just end stream because like this is pathetic. So you know what? Let's do that. If we don't get anyone on by 45 minutes, end stream. This is ridiculous. Okay. So let's start with the main cast of Kejadian. I don't have any. Maybe we do Tachyon because Tachyon probably has more. You know, Tachyon does have. You know, Tachyon sounds better. I can actually obstruct some information with Tachyon too, so that does sound like a better idea. Tachyon. I did just copy paste the whole thing to Kejadian, so you know I think this works. I think this works better. So you know, Kejadian, like we'll do Kejadian second, even though it is second on our first on the timeline. I think it makes more sense to do Tachyon first for like this. So Ellis, and I'm not going to read these exactly as they are stated. I'm obviously going to add my own twist to what it actually says. So Ellis is, as we discussed, he's also in Tachyon. He's also Night Blitz. He is also the CEO of Walterson's Innovations Incorporated. He is a very, one thing I will say, I don't know if I thought of how influential he is in terms of if he's like necessarily like Bruce Wayne is in Gotham. Now he is to some extent like that, but he isn't to that extent, I don't think. Moving on. Now, anyway, moving on. Professor Elena Storm Nightingale. How do I describe this woman without giving away who she is? Mentor figure to Ellis. Not sure. Somewhat. There's more to her than that, and obviously, I'll also say she's pretty old. She's an elderly woman by the time of the show, but either way. Then you have Alicia Eafleton, aka Paladin, and later aka Steel Song. She is 19 years old as of season 1 of the show. Don't have an actual exact age for her as of later seasons, mainly because later seasons of Tachyon are kind of hard to pin down because I don't have an exact date range for each season. I just kind of have a date range for the whole show. And then anyway, so Derek Pendleton, Paladin, or AKA Paladin, either way. Let's see here. Got it. Now we got Lorraine Williams, Switchblade, aka Switchblade. If you don't know, if this, I don't think. Obviously, if you haven't looked at the casting call, this is a very. Obviously, even if you have looked at the casting call, this is a very interesting character. For me to describe, this is a very interesting character for me to describe. I don't know. I'm trying to think if I can describe this character, but getting it away. I don't want to just say anything that will give it away. Obviously, questions are available to anyone who wants to watch, and they can ask who each of these characters are, but they don't have to go backwards. Switchblade is I'll just say femme fatale. I'll just say that much. It's I'm not going to go any further. No further. So it's like, though it is somewhat interesting in the, it's like she's a she's a combat person. She's a combat woman. I'll just say that much. Imara Omari. I don't know much on this character right now, but um, I really don't. There's a lot of this is one of the two characters I don't have much on. I would imagine she is. Well, I do have another thing. It's the Huntress. That's the a lot. I don't know how to pronounce this word. The the villain name, I guess. um, that's the only time I'm gonna try to avoid doing that again. Because yes, she is a villain. Um, yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. It's a very just yeah. Anyway, very hunter type character in terms of the way she functions. Um, Adam Holland. Adam Holland, the Howler. Need I say more? I mean, it's maybe I do. Tech villain. Last I'll say there. It's not like him. Yeah, I'm not gonna say more there. Then we got. I don't know if I want to say the full name here, or if I want to just say. Okay, I'm gonna just say the full name. Adriel Urig Victorson. Mafia. I honestly, this guy's kind of an interesting one because, oh, he's going to be hard to describe. Okay, he is. Ooh. I don't want to just. I don't want to compare him to anybody like in any comics, but like there is a good comparison. I just don't want to use it because I know who he's most like in like one overall, but like I don't want to compare him to that right now because like this is a stream where I'm trying to be not spoiler type. So he is he's a he is a guy who wears masks and he's a crime boss. He's a crime boss who, in one way, he does a lot of he does all the scummy things you can think of that a crime boss would. He also has another crime boss persona where he just wears a mask all the time and basically does that. It's a very unique thing. I don't know how else to describe it. There's a lot of inspirations for him. So if someone wants to ask that question when someone actually shows up on this stream and watches it, they can ask. I don't think anyone's showing up on this stream at this point, but maybe in the comments they can ask. I don't know. This is ridiculous at this point. I might do this again. I might have to do this again, like sometime later this weekend. Honestly, this has been a pain. So, okay. Okay, now, Marcine. Okay. Marcine Gladeriana. Oh, how do I describe this one without being spoiler heavy? Boy. Oracle. Not as in Oracle Barbara Gordon. Oracle as in like a mythological oracle, but it's more of a self-proclaimed thing. That's all I'm going to say. Maybe I shouldn't say self-contained. I said delusional, but either way, that's also saying that that's also giving away. Whatever. Fuck. Anyway, here we get the first non-human one for Tachyon's show. Zarasa Kagurlea. Yeah, Pyrostara. I have not figured out the pronunciation for that at all yet. If you can't tell. Pyrostara. Pyrostara, maybe. Or that might be a bit too complex with the accent, but then again, it does have an accent in there. Spelling. Pyrostara. Anyway. Arsonist. Believes they're doing good. Sure. Good enough. Oh, God. Looking at one next, we got probably the hardest one to describe for these initial ones. Oh, that's not even, maybe not. You know, Joyce just, so Jonah Warwick. He's actually a main character for a short time. Ooh. He's a forensic officer who turns into rival vigilante. I'll just say that much. Won't say unless someone asks in the QnA what his theme is, what his type of what he believes in necessarily. He is, yeah. Another alien. Now we got another alien. Calyrex. Kind of a difficult one to describe. I'm not sure if I'm even going to try to. He's just kind of this. No, I am going to try. Just kind of a stereotypical Ultraman series alien. Really, that's all he is. Oh, now we got the arc enemy. oh no. So we got the Joker to Night Blitz's Batman here. So this one's gonna be, and this one's not an easy one. Okay, because so this is Lucas Heron, aka Razorwind. Oh God, how did I do this? I'm just gonna say it. He is absolutely Ellis's arch enemy. He's not Tachyon's. He's not Night Blitz's. He's Ellis's. I'm just gonna say it. It does, even says it in this. To some extent, he just says Ellis's arch enemy, but still, he's absolutely Ellis's. No questions asked. He is Ellis's, not Night Blitz's, not Tachyon's. Yeah, to ask me, he's a more of a Night Blitz villain, but even so, he's both. So he's all sides of Ellis. He's the villain to all sides of Ellis's life. Not a single other villain in the show is capable of that. So I don't really want to just say anything more than that. He's kind of, I do think they probably had a relation before they became enemies. Oh, what the hell happened there? But even so, I don't imagine it was like they were buddy or something like that. They weren't complete friends. Like, no, they didn't have much of a, like, it was a working relationship. You know, it was a working relationship. It wasn't like one was like, I don't know. They were friends to some extent, maybe for a time, but they might not have been. But after a while, they definitely did not. I don't know. Imagine they were that lasted long. Now I'm getting a good one. Okay. Oh boy. Okay, we're getting the good ones. Okay. Dark Helmarian. Should I even talk about this one? I don't even know. This one is probably his like the Ellis's most personal, but I don't even know if I want to talk about this one. Like his this connects to a different thing of character with Tachyon that I don't know if I should even bring up without having someone ask about it. So I don't think I will. I'm gonna wait. It is a speed. I will say it's another Ultra, but I'm not gonna go into anything more than that. It's a Dark Ultra. That is all I'll say. Dark Elmarin is a female Dark Ultra. I will say nothing more. And of the same type of like race as Tachyon. She is an E41, just like Tachyon is. Different generation though, so I'll just say that much. It is very different. Oh boy, I don't want to say anything more. It's a very top. We're getting into topics that I don't even think Ellis would want me to talk about it if he was all right here in front of me. He would probably transform into Tachyon and just bring his no-kill girl. No, he wouldn't. But oh my god, good god, he'd be mad. He would be mad at the very least. No, he wouldn't. He would. Something. I don't know. Whatever. Fuck. Oh, Brother of the Shadows. Okay, I'm gonna not read over the Brother of the Shadows, but I am gonna read over who they, and I think this is where we get into. I guess that's sober. I'm gonna turn this a little bit. And this is kind of where we just get into DC parallels, like complete. This is the only time I think I did this, other than like, yeah, maybe not. Rob Claw's All Khayan. Ra's al Ghul, anybody? Anyway, there are differences. Obviously, I am really just playing with the name here. I'm just because like the story is very different of how he got to the point where he's at. It's just the the way he's used is not, honestly. So I'll just leave it at that. Then you also got Tanelia Al Khayan, which is even better. Okay, anyway. Damien Hydeless. Psychosis. If anyone doesn't know what that implies in terms of like a villain to me, or maybe not to me exactly, but like in the case of a Batman show, I think, or a Batman inspired show, I think I think you're just playing with yourself. This is a Scarecrow analog. I don't want to. There's more to him than that a little bit, but because like even so, he's. I'm not going to ignore the fact he's a Scarecrow analog. Even if this is supposed to be non-spoilery, he's just the Scarecrow analog. He has some unique elements. I won't say what they are unless someone asks. I don't want to, even though no one's going to ask at this point because we're at 38 minutes. Almost 39, actually, because this, why not? People don't still want to watch this. Yeah, I don't know. Okay. People. I thought I would have subscribers come on this, but apparently not. Nope. Okay, so let's see. Police Commissioner William, aka Bill Riley, and it's spelled a little bit different than most of the time. Anyway, he's just a generic police commissioner guy who works in Harlem, which is like the main city of the show. Then you have Dr. Thomas Blaine, not Bane, Blaine with an L. Yeah, I don't know why. I could have given him a different last name, but I chose not to. Mary Evelyn Harper. So I'm gonna scroll. So I just realized I didn't talk about Blaine. Forensic scientist. Not going to go into anything more than that. Mayor Evelyn Harper is just middle-aged woman mayor. Yeah. Of Ardlamore specifically. I'll let whoever wants to know that ask more about her, that character. Police Chief Nate Whitlock. He is he's basically just Bill Riley's right hand man. He's like he's just below Commissioner Riley. So, yep. I don't know. Okay. Jason, aka Jay Wilder. He's just kind of a generic detective guy. He has a really past childhood relationship with Ellis. Nothing more to him, really. Then we get into the attack team guys that connect to Ultraman stuff. So we have Essedar's Captain Marcus Hayes. He is actually pretty low down the Essedar's totem pole in terms of even just Essedar's America. So I'm just going to say that Essedar's is a massive thing. So I'm not going to go into more than that. But then you have Essedar's chief, Sarah Yachts. I don't know if I think that's how it's pronounced. And she's just kind of like, she's also she's Marcus's right hand, and she's also the vice captain for the same unit that Marcus runs. Then you have Emma Dalton, who is just a journalist, basically, reporter. And Lucas Faraday, who is very much just a Batman character in terms of his function. He's a lawyer. And then get the supporting antagonist. Okay. Then we got these guys. So Corinthia Cora Langford. I'll go with her first, even though she's not listed first here. Just a heavily corrupt police detective. That's just a heavily corrupt female police detective. Vernon Hayes. Brother. I forget if he's. He doesn't say if it's. I don't think it doesn't say if he's. Anyway. I would assume younger, but I don't know if he's supposed to. I don't know. I'd have to look at my casting call. I don't remember what I said he is. Either. Yeah, I think I don't know. I don't really remember what I said. Either way. Vernon, or just Vern. Vern Hayes is the brother of Marcus Hayes, and he's a detective. Anyway, yep, that's all we got for characters in Tachyon. I honestly don't know what else to do here. This whole thing's gone crazy with how bad it is. I was hoping for actual people here. Asking questions, not necessarily frequently, but at least somewhat. Wow, that's sad. Okay. Don't want to do it. I mean, I could go over Kejadian, but no one's showing up to the stream. Seriously? How long does this take normally? I don't know. I'm annoyed. I have been live for however long and no one wants to show up. This is probably not the best thing to just do. Anyway, you know what? I don't know. I'm just, yeah. That is so dumb. I was hoping to actually get people on here, but either way. Let's see. Okay. Maybe I can go with like MLV for our thing too, because like I don't know. It's cold down here. If you can't tell why I'm shaking. Oh my goodness. Okay. Something going on up there. Just an alarm. Okay, cool. Hopefully someone actually shows up. Honestly, I'm just banking on it at this point. It's so annoying. MLV. Try to. You know what? We'll go through the characters of MLV. Hopefully, someone asks the question. I don't know. I'm just bored. I was hoping. I was hoping. Now, MLV is a much more character dense series. I will say that. MLV is a much more character dense series for one big reason. Teamwork is a massive theme of the show. I know I originally said I was going to go only to 46, but hopefully someone will be here by like 1 hour 30. This is ridiculous. I do have. It's going to be like it's set to be like 5:15 by that point. So yeah. Anyway, for me, for my time zone. Okay. Yep. Okay. Come on, dude. The only regularly visited star colony in the series. Why am I reading this off the top of my head? Okay, what am I doing? So where are we going here? Ryan Genesis, aka Ultraman Magnistic. This is one of the main characters. Okay, we're gonna start with. We're just gonna go down the list of major characters in both seasons. We're not gonna go with everybody. So anyway, Magnistic is kind of an interesting one. He is. I think I'd have to look here. He's the grandson, I think. Let me see if that's actually what it says. Does it say grandson? He's the paternal grandson. I think that's how that works. Like he's got so his paternal grandparents are the protagonists of Ultraman Kejadian. So the two main protagonists of Kejadian, Blake Atkins Genesis, which we haven't talked about yet, and Jane Rousseau-Nair are Magnistics or Ryan Genesis's paternal grandparents. So, one thing I will say, they are both, all three of them are Ultras. Blake is Ultraman Kejadian, the namesake of his show. Jane is Ultraman Clorda. And obviously Ryan is Ultraman Magnistic. I'm not going to go into any more than that with Magnistic, but Magnistic, obviously, based on his name, controls magic in terms of the team aspect of Ultraman MLV. Now, then you got Daiki Miyabe, or Ultraman Lionheart. He's more like Ultraman Tiga than anything else. He's a very Showa type Ultraman Tiga, because like he comes from the Land of Light. He comes from the Land of Light. He's a very Showa Ultraman Tiga, but like, and he even has like a very similar crest and like facial configuration to like the original Ultraman, but like he has the abilities of Ultraman Tiga basically. Channeled through a little bit of the Showa era stuff. It's kind of interesting, but like he's basically a Showa Ultraman just with Tiga's type change ability, so that's what it is. And then you got Hitoko Ebenuma. How do I describe Hitoko? Hitoko is a young woman dealing with the grief of saying shit to her father just before her father was killed. I'm going to say it that way. And as an Ultra, she is Ultraman Valor, and she is very much a swords play Ultra. She's like the closest comparisons I can think of are like Ultraman Ogle and Ultraman Hikari. Very close comparisons, but like obviously she's Ultra woman, so it's a bit different. It's interesting. Anyway, now I think we'll go over the core team MLV members. We're not going to go too far into anything more than that too much. We might go a little bit into like some later team MLV members, but like, and also actually, you know what? Later team MLV members, we will do one of them right now. Actually, Ultraman Malave. Malave is very interesting. He is. Oh, how do I describe him? He's a fusion Ultra of Magnistic, Lionheart, and Valor. I'll just say that. But he's also not, because there's more to him than just fusion, at least in the traditional sense of Ultra series fusion Ultras. He's got a mind of his own. He's his own character. There's a reason for that in the lore, and it ties to kind of a similar thing to like, I don't know how to like what to call it comparable to, kind of comparable to like Jeed, like Ultraman Jeed, but also not really, because it has more to do with the soul than with the genetics. I'll just leave it at that with Malave, because Malave is a massively convoluted thing, even though it also isn't when you get into the nitty-gritty. So it's a cool concept. It's just it has to be dealt with in a kind of a unique way. Anyway, so then we have the core team MLV members. These are the ones that appear in basically every episode, alongside the main founding members that we already discussed, those being Magnistic or Ryan, Lionheart or Daiki, and Valor, aka Hitoko. So, anyway, Cooper Richards. Fun fact, Cooper is actually named after my nephew. And also one of the characters from Marvel, like I think it was like Kang or something, his lineage. But either way, point is, he's the main name source of this character is one of my nephews. Anyway, and Cooper is in this show. He's a tech genius. He's a tech genius. I'm just gonna leave it at that. He's a tech genius. He can, yeah. He's the tech guy. He's the tech bro. Skivna Rivera, and this is basically Team MLV's guy who just does the commanding on the public level of like SDRs. It gets convoluted because there's two fronts for Team MLV, especially when it comes down to the Ultras in Team MLV. But yeah. Veru's Loya, operator. She is also the same species as Pyrostara and Tachyon, but not the same race. Nothing more on that character. Anyway, Erina Kazatani. I don't want to do this. So, child prodigy. She's only 19 as of this season 1 of the show of MLV, and she is probably one of the most intelligent kids in the show. I don't know if I'm gonna. I wouldn't say she's like my most intelligent character, that probably goes to a different character who's technically already dead by this time, at the time of both Tachyon and MLV. By like, we're talking like, I'd have to look at the timeline, but like several thousand years. But still, it's for the time period, we're talking really intelligent person, especially for her age. Then got Nezkia Ebereld. Oh God. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. I was going to say genetically engineered person. I was going to say that much. Nothing more. We'll leave it at that. Leave it at that. I don't want to spoil anything. There's a lot of, and also trauma is a big part of it. There's some trauma to this character, but not like, or to the backstory, I should say. Not to this exact character. She doesn't deal with the trauma, but I don't think. I don't know. Let me look. No, I don't think so. She is just kind of a layperson. She's a genetically engineered person who just has become kind of a layperson after it being accepted. Because she is part of a quote unquote species of genetic. I don't know how to describe it. It's very convoluted storyline that has also has to do with it's super soldier engineering. I don't know. I'm not going to go into all of it because I don't want to. This is a spoiler free topic stream, so I don't want to talk about everything. But yeah, where I talked about Ultraman Malave. These will be the last two characters I talk about for MLV. Last two. Chikara Hakaisha. Ultraman Vilken. Energy wielding ninja. He amplifies energy. He's also an Ultraman. That sounds familiar? You're thinking of Ninjago. Just gonna say that much. You know what character I'm talking about from Ninjago. Don't ask why I took inspiration from Ninjago for an Ultraman show. I did. It was a long time ago, and I'm still doing it. Don't know why. He also, unlike his inspiration, has well, his technically inspiration does have a sister, but she's not biological. She's not biological. In this case, the sister is biological. So, Rowena Hakaisha, Ultra Woman Anastasia. This is probably one of the more interesting characters because she is very much not the same as Hakaisha or Chikara Hakaisha or Vilken. A Rayonyx. She's a Rayonyx, and she does not have any elemental powers. I should have said that that's what Chikara has, but either way, he does have elemental powers that are energy based. She's a Rayonyx. Her kaiju are, I'm not going to say them. Actually, no, I'm not going to spoil it. Her kaiju are, I'm not going to spoil those. If anyone knows who they are, keep it to yourself. I will answer the question if anyone wants to ask. But because they have posted about them before. So, you know what? Whatever. Fuck. Anyway. And she is not part of the first wave of Rayonyx. So that's another thing to keep in mind. She is not. She has no relation to Belial. Just to let you know. Cool thing. I did an interesting thing. So there's a lot of interesting lore with this wave of Rayonyx that she's a part of. So it's interesting. And it gets crazy with this character. And I'm just going to say that much. But yeah. Then you also got a lot of our ultras, but those are the last two we'll talk about. So for MLB, honestly, I'm just sad that this took nothing. Maybe we already talked about Tachyon. I don't know, whatever. Yeah, I thought it was gonna go to like an hour 30, so but it doesn't look like that. There's enough to talk about for that. So yeah, maybe there is. Maybe there's a few more characters outside of Team MLV we could talk about for MLV, but like it's just what is this? This stream has evolved so hard. Just because people weren't showing up and asking the questions I wanted them to ask. I get it. But like, no, come on. I'm not a big creator. I get it. I don't get and I don't need this is kind of a validation thing, I guess, maybe a little bit, but admittedly YouTube is just I have the validation I need. It's the 340 subscribers. You know, thank you guys. Thank you everybody. I do like you. I do like having you guys. I love having you guys. It's just I would have preferred if some people showed up to this stream. I sound like I don't appreciate you guys, but I do. I do appreciate having 341 subscribers. I'm looking at the number right now, but like, I like literally this is, oh man, it's amazing to have 340. I never thought I'd be even here. If I ever get to like 1,000, I'm gonna be amazed. But yeah, this is much greater numbers of subscribers than I ever thought I'd have. So, you know what? Thank you. I don't imagine I'm going to ever get to anything more, but, you know, still. I did imagine originally I was going to do, and honestly, this live stream was originally going to be able to be just doing Lego over something. Just doing this over Lego, answering these questions over Lego, and then just I don't think I could. I didn't have the ability to like record and all that over. I couldn't figure out in time how to record on top of. It's just it was too. So yeah. But still, you know, I think we'll go till 1 hour. It's been 1 hour 30. So I think that's what we'll do. So no, you want. And you know what? I was originally going to do 1 hour 30. I don't think that's possible anymore. Because I don't really have enough of it. I have plenty of characters in MLB. I have plenty of characters in Kejadian. To talk about still. I don't think it's worth it without getting too far into spoilers. And I probably talked about a lot of spoilers already that I don't really realize anymore. I don't know. I'm just going to say it. This stream is over. So, you know what? I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to do it. We're ending the stream. This has been Godzilla Louise, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out, guys.